I did something that I might regret. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a week in my life vlog. Today is actually Thursday because I was out of town Sunday through Wednesday for a work trip. I was in Chicago for a trade show and I'm finally back now. I got back at like 11 p.m. last night and we're back, we're here. We're gonna try to get back into the swing of things as fast as humanly possible. I feel like I always say this, I've been traveling a lot and I find that when I try to slowly ease back into my routine, I just can't fall back into my routine. So if I just force myself the first day back to just literally get back into my routine, not making any excuses, it just makes my life a lot easier. It takes a little bit of discipline if I'm being honest, because a lot of the times when I travel, I am tired, I'm feeling lazy, I'm just exhausted. I'm like, I don't want to do this, but you know what? No, we get back in the swing of things, we feel normal again as fast as humanly possible, and that is the goal. I've started off the day in my routine, waking up, doing my skincare, eating my breakfast, and I've been working. Last night my flight was delayed. I feel like there's been so many delays in flights recently. All the traveling that I've been doing, they're always getting delayed, but it actually worked out for me pretty nicely because I was able to get some work done when I was waiting for my flight, so it was great. I was there, like I said, Sunday through Wednesday. Had a really great time. The weather in Chicago was absolutely beautiful. I was staying in the North River area. A lot of people are actually saying, because I've been considering moving, which I actually want to have a conversation again about that in this vlog. A lot of people are saying that I should consider Chicago, and I wasn't there for that long, and I was only in really one area, but I don't think Chicago is a place that I could see myself living. I think a couple things. Number one, I've grown up in the desert my whole life. I know from what I've heard what the winters are like. I didn't get to experience it firsthand. I just don't think I'm cut out for that, if I'm being honest. Maybe I could ease my way to that point, but I don't think I can go straight from the desert to Chicago and experience that winter. I just don't think I have that in me. I think 70 degrees is cold. I don't think I could do negative 20. Our Uber was telling us how cold it gets and I was like, I don't think I'm cut out for that. Also, I just like didn't really feel like a calling to that city. I really liked it. I really enjoyed the city. I thought it was beautiful. I really loved the architecture. I really liked it, but I didn't think it was just like a place that I could see myself living. Nothing wrong with Chicago. You know, there's some places that you go to and you're like, I just feel like this city is like very calling for me. It just feels very fitting. And some places you just don't. I just feel like it was one of those, but I really did like it. The weather was beautiful. We went on one of those architecture boat tours. I thought the architecture is beautiful. We went to Willis Tower, one of those like little lookouts, and then we saw the Bean. Unfortunately, that was all the sightseeing I was able to do. I really wanted to go to the Field Museum and see the dinosaur zoo. I was dying to go, but the Field Museum was only open during work hours, and of course I was there for a work trip, so priorities. I was glad that I was able to do a little bit of sightseeing and touristy things when I had my nights off from work. It was great though. I hope that next year when we go back they will have me come because I did really enjoy it and I hope to be able to see more things, but it was great. I really did enjoy the trip and I really did like Chicago. Even if I don't see myself living there, I really liked it. Tonight I actually have my very last Pilates class. You guys, I've been talking about this for so long, but I bought a pack of Pilates and I'm just kind of over Pilates, but I have one credit left. So tonight will be my goodbye to Pilates for a while until if I decide that I want to go back to it. But I did something a little crazy. I did something that I might regret. I got a Solid Core Unlimited pack. Hear me out. Hear me out. They just opened a Solid Core by where I live. I've been taking classes for a while. I originally signed up for the 8 times a month pack or membership, which is just like 2 times a week. And I've noticed like I've been wanting to go more since they just opened a new location. They have like founders membership. So the unlimited with the founders membership price discount is basically the same, very close to a regular 8 times a month pack without a discount. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do unlimited for a month, maybe 2. If I decide I hate it, I'll cancel it and whatever. It's kind of a good deal. I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna put all my eggs in one basket. Will I regret it? Maybe. I really enjoyed the workout, so we're just gonna see. We're just going to see. I have my pajama pants on. But I actually went to a Solid Core class. This is so funny. So they had their like grand opening. So apparently their grand opening was in July, but they had opened in June. And opening in June was just kind of like a soft opening, getting a membership, getting a base of people to come in. And so I went to a class on Sunday before I went to my trip. The only reason I went was because it was like a grand opening thing and they did a class with Aloe and I was hoping that they would have free stuff. And they did. They had a free pair of socks. I did take a 7:30 a.m. class on a Sunday. I didn't need to wake up that early, but I did for a free pair of socks. It's just a pair of socks, but you know what? Worth it. Thankfully, since my flight was delayed and I was able to do like 2-3 hours of work yesterday, I don't feel super far behind. When you're traveling on a work trip, there's only so much that you can do. You're doing other things, so you're not able to do like your typical computer tasks that you do on a daily basis, and like things just kind of have to like wait until you get home. So I was able to catch up, but I still do have a game of catch up to play today and tomorrow. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really refreshed. I really enjoyed that trip, and as of now, I won't be traveling until September. So the entire month of August, I don't have any trip unless a last minute one comes up. I'm considering maybe doing a solo trip by myself and going to San Diego. I've been very excited. So like, I really want to do a solo trip. I've never done one, and I've been to San Diego like a million times. My family would vacation there all the time. I've been there with friends, family, all that stuff. So I feel like more comfortable going there alone for the first time. So I might end up doing that. I don't know. I have no plans. I have no schedule right now, but if that happens, it happens, and I would be very happy about it. But until September, no more traveling as of now. And I'm really excited to just like be at home, because I've been traveling almost every other week. I actually wanted to talk to you guys about something, and I'm kind of nervous to talk about this if I'm being honest. I have been thinking about this all throughout my trip that I was on, and when I was on the plane ride home, it was like a 4-hour flight, and this was all I was thinking about. And I kind of just wanted to talk to you guys about where my headspace is at with some things, and I'm just gonna say it. Okay, so I've been talking about something pretty big lately, the possibility of me moving out of Arizona. And honestly, this is something that has been on my mind for quite a long time. I've been quietly thinking about this for years, in all honesty, just sitting with it, wrestling with it, pondering about it, wondering if this was ever going to feel possible. And recently something started to shift in my mind, and it started to feel like something I could actually do. I could actually move out of the state that I've lived in my whole life. And once that clicked in my head, it was like the momentum hit all at once. The energy showed up, the excitement showed up, the clarity showed up. And a big part of why this feels urgent to me right now is because I've spent the past couple of years really thinking about what I want out of life. Not what I think life is supposed to be, what society expects from me, what other people around me want from me, what I truly want out of my own life, what I actually want. And what I actually want is to move, change my environment, to grow, to have that life experience. So yes, from the outside looking in, this might feel very sudden. It might look like it's a rush. Oh, there's like a car alarm going off. Trying to have a serious conversation. Whatever, we're just gonna go with it, okay? We're just gonna keep going even though the car's like wah, 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 wah. It might look like a rush, but for me, this doesn't feel rushed at all. It feels like I finally caught up to a decision that I've been forming in my head for years. Oh, the car alarm finally turned off. Okay, cool. And in all honesty, I'm okay with the speed that I'm moving at. I trust the pace that I'm moving at. And I know it's coming from a grounded place internally. It's not panic, it's not avoidance, it's not trying to figure out my way out of a rut. I just feel very ready for this. So I started sharing some pieces of my thought process and my journey and what I'm going through online, you know, asking for recommendations, sharing some places that I'm considering moving, talking through exactly what I think that would look like. And I was genuinely so excited to share it with you guys, and I still am. But the response has been mixed, to say the least. Some of you guys have been so supportive, so thoughtful, so kind, and I literally cannot tell you how much I appreciate that, and I am so thankful for you guys for that. Even the people who are not like, you should do that, like, your responses have been so kind and generous, but some of the responses have also really hurt. Metaphorically, some of the responses have kind of taken the wind out of my sails, and I kind of want to talk about why I feel that way. I'm like actually shaking right now. Like, why is this making me so anxious to talk about? I really want to keep talking about this. I really want to keep talking about my move. Sharing my life online is something I've been doing since I was 13 years old. It helps me process things. It's just become a way of living of who I am. I feel like sharing online like helps me stay grounded. It helps me feel connected. And honestly, this is something that I want to be able to look back on my life and remember, and like me going through this thought process and figuring things out in real time. Some of the responses have kind of made me be like, I'm gonna stop sharing about this, but that's truly not what I want to do. I feel like that's not who I am as a person. I am a very open book, but I also want to set a boundary that commenting on my mental health is not okay. I understand that some of it comes from a place of care and concern, and I truly appreciate that. I feel really fortunate to have like built this community, and I feel very fortunate that people actually really care about me. And I want to say that I value thoughtful and respectful conversations even when they challenge me. I'm not trying to avoid criticism or pretend like I have it all figured out. I really want to be clear that I don't want an army of yes men. That is not what I want. Hearing different perspectives have been so helpful for me. A lot of you guys have brought up things that I haven't considered. I'm still figuring this out in real time about wanting to move, where to move, how to do it. And things that you guys have brought up, you know, have made me reflect, pause, reconsider, grow a little bit. I really appreciate people bringing up their different points of view, especially when it's done with care. You know, throughout doing YouTube the past 13 years, no, 12 years, almost 13 years, I've had like difficult conversations with people with different point of views, and I feel like it's really helped me grow and mature and see different perspectives, and I feel like I wouldn't be the person I am without that. Those conversations really matter to me. Some of them are like the most life-changing conversations I've ever had with you guys. Like, your input really matters to me. I really care about what you guys think, maybe a little bit too much. But when these comments start to cross into diagnosing me or speculating on my mental health, you know, I'm getting comments of people saying things like, I'm manic, I need to adjust my medication, I'm unstable, I am bipolar. There's things that are being like publicly commented on my videos. There's people like privately DMing me things like this. And personally, that's where I feel like it crosses a line. That kind of language is not supportive. It's not helpful. Even when it's said casually or out of concern, it reinforces a stigma, in my opinion. It reduces mental health to a label that you can throw at someone anytime. What is this sound? That's someone's car. That sounds good. Okay. You know, saying things like that I'm manic, bipolar, need to adjust my medication, those things are really hurtful. And like I said, it reduces mental health to a label that you can throw out to anyone anytime that they seem impulsive, or like they're talking fast, or they're acting different, or wanting different things than usual. You know, it can be really damaging, not only to me, but to people reading these comments, people who live with these mental health diagnoses. And I know that we all say that we want to destigmatize mental health, but I feel like this is an example of what stigma actually looks like. It's not just slurs or ignorance. It can also be casual concern that's rooted in assumption and not fact. And I just really want to be honest that reading those type of comments really did hurt my feelings. I was really excited about the possibility of moving, and seeing people question my stability just because I was showing my excitement made me really want to shut down. It made me want to stop sharing this part of my life and just do it on my own and not talk about it. It made me question myself a lot, honestly, and that's not something that I want to carry into the season of my life. Because the thing is, I know myself. I know what it looks like when I'm struggling, what it looks like when I'm down, what it looks like when I'm making impulsive decisions that are not well thought out, you know, when I'm acting from a place of fear or pain or whatever. And this decision and me wanting to do this is none of those. This is me stepping into something that I've been quietly preparing for. And honestly, like, this is me doing something that I think is brave, me dreaming out loud, me doing something that's out of my comfort zone because I want to do it, because it feels right for me. That being said, I also want to take accountability because I think that I have a huge part to play in all of this. I realize that sometimes I share things with a lot of momentum without context. What feels like a natural step to me may feel like a sudden shift to you guys watching these videos, you know, and I think that's fair. I've been living with this decision, this thought process, me wanting to do this in my head for a really long time, for years, honestly, and this may be the first time that you guys have heard me talking about it. And I think that this is something that I want to be better at, is maybe sharing my thought processes earlier on, or sharing the why, you know, just being more intentional about with what I'm sharing, you know, because in my mind, I've been thinking about this for years. Like, this is not a rushed decision, but if this is the first time that you've heard me talk about this, and it seems like I have all these decisions made so fast, it seems like, okay, Keegan, you went on one weekend trip and now you're gonna uproot your entire life. That's just not the case, but I totally see that that's the way that it came across. And I just think the comments on my mental health were really upsetting and crossed a line, and that's a boundary that I want to set. That is not something that I'll tolerate. I do understand too that sharing your life online like opens your life up to judgment, and people can say whatever they want, and I agree with that to an extent, but I also think that excuses a lot of people for saying really harmful, mean, terrible things on the internet. That's just not okay. And just because you share your life online doesn't mean that everyone can say whatever they want about you. I think that we all need to hold each other accountable of the way that I'm sharing online, the way that other people are sharing online. And you know, I think that I'm allowed to be excited, I'm allowed to move fast, and I'm allowed to change my mind. But I really want to be able to share all of these things with you guys online and not be labeled as something that I'm not. I mean, like I said, I've really been thinking for a long time about what I want out of my life, and maybe I just haven't opened that door up to you guys to see into my brain, and I apologize for that. I apologize that I kind of dropped this bomb and didn't give you guys the context, because in my mind, I obviously know every single thing that I'm thinking, and in my mind, I'm like, I share every single thing on the internet that I sometimes forget. I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't talked about that yet. Like, I just assume because I know it, they know it, because I share so much. So I really do apologize. I want to take accountability for the way that I've been sharing. I think that I wasn't very intentional about it. I want to thank you guys for listening to this little whatever this was. I also want to say thank you to everyone who's been so kind and, you know, giving me the chance to figure out things in real time. I really do appreciate you. I really do appreciate the people who've been supportive, even the people who are saying like, I don't think this is a good decision for you, like here's why. Like, I appreciate you guys coming at it with a lot of care. It means so much to me, and sharing my life online is such an important part of my life, and I want to keep being able to share these things. But when I have comments on my mental health like that, it makes me not want to. So I want to set a boundary, if that's okay with you guys, that leave my mental health out of it. You know, nobody in my comments are my physician. You know, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, but words have impact on people, and I think that I can be better going forward. I hope that other people can be better going forward, and I want to keep sharing about my move, and I want to do it with care, and I hope that it can be received with care. So thank you all for listening for this really long thing. I was trying to talk slower, but yeah, I'm still going to move. I just have stuff to figure out in real time. I don't expect to have everything figured out right away. Anyways, that's that. I'm gonna stop talking. This was really awkward for me. Just finished up my Pilates class. I am finally done with Pilates. We are now dedicated to solid core. I actually really do think that I like a solid core workout so much more, because it's just so much more intense, and I feel like I get like more for my money out of it, if it makes any sense. Like, I feel like I'm working harder in the period of time that I'm working out, more exertion per minute, but it doesn't feel like it's killing me, if that makes any sense. This is what I decided to wear. These are from Amazon. These are my favorite little workout shorts that I love so much. They're really great. They're from Sierra Yoga, one of my favorite workout brands right now. It's like the same material makeup as Lululemon, but significantly cheaper. And then this I got years and years ago from the Gymshark Whitney Simmons collab. I have my little bob and a ponytail. But I actually ran into one of my friends who does Pilates, but she does the class like before me. Just the timing doesn't work out for us to do it at the same time. And I was like, oh my god, hi, how was the class? And she was like, it was so hard. And it was in fact very hard. When I was doing my Pilates class, I was just thinking about how I've been traveling so much, and honestly just how grateful I am to be able to experience so many different places. I feel like every city I go to, I fall in love with for different reasons. And like I said, like some cities I feel like really call me to live there. Some of them don't, but I still can really appreciate like the history and architecture and the lifestyle that they have. It's just really cool to see just different parts of, I mean, I've really only been traveling to different parts of the US, but it's been so much fun. I've really enjoyed it. Traveling is honestly really expensive, so it's not something I see myself doing like all of the time for like every stage of my life. But right now, this stage of my life, I feel like it's just like opening my eyes to so much more, having conversations with people that live in different cities, like just talking to Uber drivers or talking to waitresses, tour guides, just so many different people. I think that's what really makes up life in a sense. Also, a lot of you guys were commenting on the TikTok that was like, Chicago really isn't that cold in the winter. I think that I might have a skewed view because number one, again, lived in a desert my whole life. Number two, my Uber driver was like really hyping up how freezing cold it is in the winter, so maybe my perception of what winter is like in Chicago is skewed. Again, I think 30 degrees is freezing cold. I can't imagine -20. But I really love the city, and again, I want to go back so badly and just explore more areas. I wish that I had unlimited time, but it was so nice that I was able to just take advantage of the small periods that I had. I also was thinking, again, this is back on the topic of me moving, but this is something that I feel like has kind of been really eye-opening and life-changing. But if you guys remember, a while ago, I was sitting in my kitchen and I was talking about how I just don't feel like I know what I want out of my life right now. I feel really lost. I feel like I want so many different things at one time. Looking back now, with a little bit more perspective, I think I realized I knew exactly what I wanted. I just wasn't giving myself permission to do those things. I knew that I wanted to move. I knew that I really wanted to like work towards advancing my career and all these things. But I almost feel like I wasn't giving myself permission to allow myself to do that because I've just never done it. And if you guys remember, I was standing in my bathroom and I was vlogging in the middle of the night one night, just talking about it. And I literally in that moment gave myself permission to move, to do all the things that I want to do. And the only reason why I wasn't really achieving and going after the things that I want is just because I've never done it before. Like it was like a safety net of doing the same thing over and over instead of trying something new and risking something new. And if the only reason I'm not doing something is just because I haven't done it before, that's not a good enough reason to not do it. And I feel like I've just gotten so much more clarity on what direction I want my life to go in. And in all honesty, like there still are some areas where I feel unsure and kind of could go either way, because I think that's just life. That's being alive. That's being in your 20s. That's being a person. Like being in a relationship right now, I don't know if that's something I want. I don't think that's something I want. But then my friends will tell me about their relationships. I'm like, oh, that does sound kind of nice to have someone to pick you up from the airport and someone to do things with and someone to be in love with. But at the same time, like I really enjoy being single. So I think there's certain things like that I'm just going to kind of let play out the way that feels natural and authentic in the time. And there are certain things that I have to kind of put like momentum and energy and my resources behind, like for example moving, advancing in my career, things like that. And those are the things that I'm now like finally letting myself do and giving myself permission to do, if that makes any sense at all. But I feel really good. I feel like, I think clarity, I keep saying that, but I think clarity is just the #1 word right now that I feel. And like traveling so much, I feel like it's also just giving me so much more clarity of what I want out of my life, expanding my horizons. I still don't feel like I'm fully there yet, but it's making me like a more well-rounded person, you know? I think that's always something that I'm like striving to be, in all honesty, is like well-rounded. And I feel like I'll get there, you know? But I think that is like my goal. In other news, I'm gonna talk about food. And I know sometimes like people's relationship with food, if they have an eating disorder or whatever, can be triggering. So feel free to skip this section. But I think that I've been realizing that I have been like not under eating, but my meals have not been nutritious and dense enough, in all honesty. Like I'll be having like really small meals and then 30 minutes later I'm like, why am I hungry? I just ate. And it's because I'm not filling up my plate with enough food, with enough of vegetables, proteins, healthy fats, like all of these things. Like having a nutritionally dense meal that's well-rounded, I realize I have not been doing that. Like I'll have a teeny tiny yogurt bowl for breakfast, and this morning I had a protein bar and a much bigger granola bar with a much bigger serving of yogurt with much more fruit, and I had electrolytes with it, and I had my energy drink. Like it was just a bigger serving, and I noticed that I was a lot more satiated and full for a lot longer, which obviously makes sense. The more food you eat, the fuller you are for longer. But I wasn't craving snacks or anything like that. I wasn't thinking about food. So that's something that I want to start prioritizing, and just making more balanced meals, but also making them bigger. And one thing that I really want to work on too is my relationship with food. I'm someone who always finishes my plate, and even if I'm like past the level of comfort, like I will keep eating. Doesn't matter if I am stuffed beyond disbelief. I'm just someone who's always cleared my plate, and I want to be more intentional and intuitive about eating and being able to stop when I'm no longer hungry, being able to get more food if I am hungry, being able to have more nutrition in what I'm eating and still find joy in food, but be able to nourish my body well. I think that's something that I've really been caring a lot about, is nutrition. I think a lot of my cooking classes have really been helping. It was actually so nice. My cooking class was canceled on this Monday, which worked out perfectly because I was out of town. The instructor wasn't able to make this class, so they pushed it back a week, which, like I said, perfect because I wasn't even there, so I can finish the full cooking class. Next week will be my very last one. Yeah, nutrition. I think I've just been really valuing my health, especially recently. The more I'm learning, the more that I'm making it a priority. I'm like also like forcing it on everyone else that I know. If I'm being honest, I'm like shoving it down my mom's throat of like, you should be taking vitamins, you should be making sure that you get like these kind of these type of foods in your system, and make sure that you're drinking enough water, make sure that you're stretching because your knees are bad. Like I'm like really forcing it down everyone's throat, and I kind of need to like watch it, if I'm being honest. Just because I'm passionate about something doesn't mean everybody else needs to be, but you know, you want your parents and your friends and your family to be healthy. But I probably should honestly take a step back more than I'm thinking about it. Boundaries, Keegan, boundaries. I've never felt so good in my body, and I'm not talking like my external body image. I'm just talking about like internally, how I feel, my energy levels, how my stomach feels after I eat food. I feel like I rarely am getting sick. Like I thought I was going to get sick for a while, and then I didn't. Like I just feel really healthy in all honesty. And I feel like making subtle changes to what I eat, the supplements I take, the way I live my lifestyle, just very small things that honestly don't make that big of a difference in my day-to-day life with how I'm functioning and doing my life, but it makes me feel internally so much better. So I'm really grateful that I've been learning all these things, and it's definitely become, I don't want to say hyperfixation, but like a new area of interest for me recently. So I'm really happy about it. But I do want to have a little after workout snack. I honestly probably could eat dinner right now because it's 6 o'clock. I don't know if I'm hungry enough for dinner. I haven't gone grocery shopping because I was out of town, and I've kind of ran through all my freezer food. So I don't really know what I want to do. As a side note, these are not considered the healthiest things in the world, but these jalapeno and cream cheese crispy wontons are incredible. I was talking about my favorite Trader Joe's foods with my hairstylist, and I recommended that one to her. I've gotten so many of my friends hooked on those. If you like a crab wonton, it tastes just like that. Unfortunately, no crab in it, but they're so good in the air fryer. They're like the perfect crisp. I'm gonna make one right now. Hello and good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. I feel bad that this vlog is like only 2 days long because I was out of town for work, and I was actually sharing a room with one of my colleagues when I was there because I offered. This is apparently not at all expected or demanded by us. I wanted her to come on this work trip because I thought it'd be a great experience for her, but just the way the budgets were, she could only come in for 1 day, and like with the budgets I don't even understand. And I was like, what if she stays in the same hotel room as me? We just get 2 beds, we're like around the same age, it's not weird, I have no problem with it, she has no problem with it. So we ended up sharing a room, which is so fun. We were like bestie sleepover. Because of that, I was like, I'm not gonna vlog with her there, so I decided to wait till I got home to vlog. So I apologize, this video is probably a little bit shorter than usual, but I pretty much just finished up my work day. It was a good work day, not too heavy, which was nice. Also, I washed my hair last night. My first time washing my hair at home since I cut my hair into the bob. I feel like I'm noticing that I like it a little bit more like pulled back, or like, you know, like a little clip in it type of thing. Like I feel like I kind of like it more like this than like this. I still like it like this, but I don't even know what I'm saying. But I'm still figuring out how I want to like style it and everything like that. It's just a new haircut. I'm excited to, like, as it grows, to be able to style it in different ways. I think that's really exciting. Like, do I think that this bob is like the look for me? Like, do you know everybody has like a haircut, color, makeup, outfit combination that's the most flattering to their body and their hair and their head and all that stuff? Do I think a bob is like the most flattering thing in the entire world on me? No, I don't think it's probably like my #1 look, but I still like it. I think it's fun. I'm young and I'm excited to like experience the different stages of growth throughout my hair. I think it'll be really fun to like play around with. But yeah, I washed my hair obviously on my work trip, but this is my first time washing it at home, so I'm still figuring out like how I want to air dry it or style it or like do little clips and things like that. I'm excited. It's going to be pretty fun. I want to clean up my kitchen later tonight. I actually need to figure out when Costco closes, because one of my friends and I are going to go to this like arcade style thing, and then we're wanting to go to Costco after. But let's see, when does Costco close? Closes at 8:30 p.m. We might not be able to make it. That sucks. I don't know if we'll have the time. But I've been working in my PJs all day, and I love that. If you guys remember, I've been going to the office 1 day a week. It is now being increased to 3 days a week. If you guys remember, my company announced a return to office policy. It was 3 days a week, but then we just didn't have enough desks, so they're like, okay, you only have to do it 1 day a week, and now it's like, okay, now you actually have to do it 3 days a week. They're actually putting more desks in. So I think starting next week or the first week of August, I'm going in 3 days a week. 1 day a week felt very doable. I was like, okay, this is so easy. 3 days a week requires a little bit more effort of like packing your lunches, having outfits to wear to work, like just, you know, a lot more prep involved, which I'm thankful it's 3 days a week and not 5 days a week. But at the same time, I really do miss full remote work. I really want to clean up my kitchen. It is a mess. Last night I made salmon, a barbecue salmon, like a stir-fry veggie, and then some mac and cheese for dinner. A little bit of everything. but I think we're just gonna clean up a little bit. I have to like unload my dishwasher. I feel like my biggest issue with like being an adult is literally unloading my dishwasher. I have no problem loading it, but it's the unloading it, because sometimes I get lazy and like I don't feel like unloading it right now, and then all these dishes pile up in my sink, and that is my kryptonite when it comes to cleaning my house, in case you were wondering. But I also have a Legree class, I'm pretty sure, that I scheduled for today. Since I was out of town, I hadn't really worked out this week too much aside from my Pilates class yesterday, so I scheduled some classes. Like, I did too much. I'm doing the most. But I have my Legree class. I'm gonna get ready for my little fun like arcade thing that I'm going to, which I'm really excited about, and then hopefully we'll have time for Costco. I kind of want to do electrolytes in my water. I think it's just like a fun little like afternoon pick-me-up to have like a flavored drink. And I do like carbonation in some type of drinks, but I'm very picky when it comes to carbonation. Like, I don't like sparkling water carbonation. I like Alani carbonation. You guys know if you know. If you've literally watched any of my videos, like seriously watch one singular video, you know my obsession. So like I said, I think I showed this earlier, but I have 2 electrolyte mixes. I have the raspberry and then I have the blue raspberry, which someone told me blue raspberry is not a fruit, obviously. Like, it does not exist in the wild. It is man-made. And so they're saying like if you drink anything blueberry, like it is, or blue raspberry, it is very clearly not a natural flavor, which kind of made me be like, oh, I don't love that. However, blue raspberry is my favorite flavor of all time. Like, if I have a snow cone or anything like that, blue raspberry is, she's that girl. Also, I wanted to share with you guys that when I was on my work trip, I got some free samples. This is so funny, but I really love this sugar kind of replacement. It's from the brand Lakanto. Anyways, it's a monk fruit sweetener, so it's just like a sugar replacement. I really love to bake, and like I said, I've been trying to have just better ingredients for you in it. This just has 2 ingredients in it, and these things are so expensive. So they had samples of these, and then I went over to their booth and they were all out of the samples, and he was like, if you want to bring this home, you totally can. And I was like, I'll do it. Like, twist my arm. There was an even bigger one. I was like, I'll take the bigger one too, but I didn't end up getting the bigger one. But I'm excited because this is really expensive sugar essentially, and I got it for free. I also got this from them. They have like a pumpkin spice muffin mix, which I think is going to be really, really good. So I'm excited to try this out. But I was actually so excited. Like, I would not shut about how excited I was that I got that sugar for free, because that stuff is so expensive, and I'm just thrilled that I got it for much cheaper. I'm gonna fill up my water and then start cleaning up my kitchen. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this or not. You guys are gonna think that I'm gross, and I'm very aware. Like, okay, am I gross? Probably. I have never mopped my floors before. Before I moved in here, I got my place professionally cleaned, so the floors were mopped then, and then I'll like mop my floors or like clean up my floors with like a Clorox wipe or a disinfectant spray, but I don't physically own a mop. And my mom one time came here and she has like a steam cleaner that she was so excited, or a steam mop, and she was so excited about her steam mop that she was like, can I please come to your house and use it? And I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna say no to that. So on Prime Day, I got myself a steam mop because I don't have a physical mop, and I really liked the one that my mom had. This is not the same one she had, because I wanted one that I could detach and have like different heads. So this one has like a floor head to it, but it also has smaller ones that I could use like on my microwave or on my mirrors or on things like that, and more like deep small spots. This is the brand Shenley. I haven't even opened it yet. It's still covered in plastic, but I'm really excited. I want to use this on my Sunday reset. It's a steam mop and handheld steamer. It's a 7-in-1, which is amazing. But I really wanted to get like a nice something to clean my floors, and I thought a steam mop was like the best thing, because I've been seeing so many things about steam mops. It's literally just water. I don't understand how it works, but I'm so excited to use it. Anyways, let's get back to what I was going to do. Hydrate and clean. Yeah. Okay. Also, I'm not done yapping. I need to close this though. If you guys thought I was done yapping, you are sadly mistaken. Oh, I found it. Okay. Do you guys want to hear how ChatGPT read me to filth? There is this trend going on TikTok that I decided to participate in. The trend is you ask ChatGPT what your curse is. Do you want to hear what ChatGPT said? I obviously posted this on TikTok because it's a TikTok trend, but I wanted to share it with you guys. So I asked ChatGPT, what is my curse? And it said, that's a bold question, Keegan. And it depends on how you define curse. If you mean a personal tendency or reoccurring challenge that trips you up, I can reflect on patterns from our past conversations and challenge you to think through them. Here's one possibility. Your curse might be this. Hold on to your horses. You're deeply self-aware and driven to grow, but that very awareness sometimes traps you in a loop of overthinking, perfectionism, or second-guessing your instincts. Stabbed to the heart. Literally, I was like, ouch. True. Thank you. But also, does someone or something ever say something so accurate about you and you're like, oh, God. It says, you know what you want or are trying very hard to find out, and you do the work, physically, mentally, emotionally, but because you care so much about doing the right thing for your body, your future, your self-expression, you can sometimes get caught in a cycle of analysis paralysis, and it's like me asking these questions. Am I picking the best strategy? High self-expectations. Why can't I just stick to this if I know it's good for me? Internal pressure versus internal truth. Is this what I want, or is this something I think that I should want? That tension between who you are and who you want to be and how to get there can feel like a blessing and a curse. It's the same trait that makes you insightful and intentional, but can also make rest, ease, and instincts harder to access. I think this is actually funny because this kind of reflects back on what I was talking about earlier. I think about things a lot before I actually do them, and it was saying in here, you move fast after thinking and long and hard. You have a pattern of slow burn then quick execution. You do deep internal reflection then act. But when you do act, it's decisive. It's a powerful trait unless the inner dialogue is so exhausting it slows down or burns you out before you even get to the act part. So true. Like, it's so weird that the computer can clock me like that. But I guess that's what happens. That's what the world is turning into. AI. Oh, that's scary. At my work conference, there were some education sessions on AI. I didn't end up going to because I didn't have the time for it, but so my colleagues did, and they were telling me about it, and I was like, that's scary. I don't like that. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I asked ChatGPT what my curse is, and it was painfully accurate. Definitely got me thinking a lot, which honestly is probably my problem. I think too much. I live up here. Yeah, ask ChatGPT what your curse is. I find it fascinating. I'm getting ready for my liquor class. I actually need to leave like right now. The Sierra's the yoga, like, did I wear these yesterday? I think I wore the black version of these yesterday. And then these are from Gym People. I have them in a ton of different colors. But I'm gonna thaw out some salmon for dinner. One thing that has helped me not eat out as often, I used to be like a chronic eater-outer. I don't know if that's the way you say it, probably not. But I used to eat out all the time. Majority of the week I was going to get something because I was lazy, especially when I was kind of going through my depression symptoms. It was really hard to motivate myself to cook and to clean, so I was constantly eating out. And one thing that has helped me a lot is honestly having freezer food that's easily available, whether it's like a chicken tender or frozen salmon that I can thaw out in 30 minutes, or just like a frozen meal. It has helped me a ton eat out less, even though probably frozen chicken tenders aren't the healthiest food in the world. I think it's better and honestly more cost effective than going to get nachos, which is like my favorite go-to. My cooking class has told me this is actually like the least effective way or healthy way or delicious way of thawing out your food, but whatever. I'm just putting salmon in a bowl of cold water. But if you want to like thaw something out the right way and not lose flavor or whatever, thaw it out in the fridge for like 1 to 2 days. Thawing it out for a long period of time in like a less intense temperature is what gets it to be still juicy, all that stuff. Also, I did try out my steam mop. I love it. I used it right here, which had like crystallization from water stains, and it completely is gone. I will say I used it on my floor a little bit, and my floor feels like kind of sticky. So I don't know what that's about, but I'm just gonna let that thaw out in some cold water for the hour that I'm gone. I need to leave literally right now. And then we'll just make it in the air fryer. Super easy, super quick, really great I'm gonna go to Costco, like I said, tonight, hopefully if it's not closed in time, and get a lot more freezer food. Costco is where I like to stock up on my freezer food and just have it for a while. I'll be honest with you guys, the number one thing that has helped me make healthy decisions in my life and be overall healthy is honestly being realistic about my lifestyle and knowing myself well. Like I used to be like buying all of these grocery items and I'm gonna make these huge meal prep meals and I'll never get the energy to do it. And just being realistic with myself, being like, this is something I will do, this is something I won't do. I probably not gonna go to the gym by myself, but if I sign up for a workout class, I'll go. On Tuesdays when I'm really busy, I'm not gonna wanna make a huge meal and have time to make it, clean it, all that stuff. I'm usually just really hungry by the time I get home from my plans, so I can kind of accommodate and plan accordingly, and that has been the biggest thing that has helped me a lot. For the longest time I was like, why can't I just get myself to do XYZ things? But honestly, I found the true life hack is just planning around my schedule and around what is realistic for me, not forcing myself to do something that is just gonna be too much or that is not feasible for me or that I just know I won't have the energy to do. Meet myself where I'm at is probably the best way I could explain it, and it's changed the game for me. Now we're off to La Grille. I don't know why I'm doing that, but I am. What music should I play? Taylor Swift, obviously. I'm gonna shuffle her entire discography. What comes up? Maroon. Oh, Cornelia Street. Love.
And then I'm gonna push my legs out for 4. Get those knees to hover off right here. And keep going to your bar. You're gonna squat on your left side. 10. That entire right section. Push it into your knees. It's gonna be nice and high. Alright, you got 5. Halfway out, ready.
Shoot the basketballs into the green basket.